The Victorian neighborhood, remnants of a bygone era. A place of elaborate, artistic, and well-detailed homes. A place where the rich of the past pulled all the stops, just so you and everyone else would know just how rich they are. Welcome to Schmancy, the place where we talk all things rich, exclusive, and fancy schmancy. In our last video, we featured those communities known for their amazing collection of Victorians. However, we did promise to bring you some more, didn't we? In case you haven't seen part 1 to this series, by all means, help yourself to a click right here. In the meantime, we must get on with the show. And so without further delay, here are 15 more Victorian neighborhoods in the United States. Number 1. Millionaire's Row in Pasadena, California. Though Pasadena may be better known for its abundance of craftsman bungalows and other more recent styles, in the years leading up to the 20th century, it was a haven for Victorians. And some parts of the city still show proof of that. The highest concentration of them can be found in what is known as the Markham Historic District, particularly in the side streets off of Orange Grove Boulevard, otherwise known as Millionaire's Row. In addition, you can find an endless supply of Victorians scattered throughout Pasadena's other historic districts. Number 2. Summit Avenue in St. Paul, Minnesota. This historic avenue is home to the longest stretch of Victorian-era homes in the United States. It is also the street that F. Scott Fitzgerald once called home, as this is the actual row house where he wrote his first successful novel. Summit Avenue starts on a hill just west of downtown St. Paul, and continues 4.5 miles west all the way out to the Mississippi River. Here, you'll find a mixture of Victorian styles from the stately stone and brick mansions, to the ornate row houses, as well as some elegant painted ladies. On Summit Avenue, there's a style for everyone. Number 3. Redlands, California. This tiny Southern California city, regarded as the jewel of the Inland Empire, is surrounded by majestic mountains. It got its start in the late 1800s, as the center of the largest navel orange producing region in the world, as well as a resort town where the uber-rich would build their fabulous Victorian mansions. Today, with only one citrus packing house remaining, Redlands is a city that welcomes a slew of visitors who come for its evening farmers market, and to catch a glimpse of its multitude of gorgeous Victorian mansions. Some of the must-see gems are the Maury Mansion, the Kimberly Crest House, and the Edwards Mansion. Number 4. Newport, Rhode Island. Here we go again, giving this tiny city on Aquidneck Island another spot on one of our lists. And a pretty well-deserved one, as not only does Newport showcase their famous lineup of Gilded Age mansions, but they also have one of the most spectacular collections of Victorians on display. So after you've gotten your fill of the downtown and shoreline tourist attractions, you can take a detour into some of Newport's more residential areas, and have a look at the non-elite architecture that were built during the mid to late 1800s. You'll have much success in the K. Catherine neighborhood and the side streets off Broadway. Number 5. Oak Park, Illinois. This popular village adjacent to Chicago is a prime destination for Frank Lloyd Wright and Prairie School enthusiasts. However, prior to the 20th century, it was actually dominated by an excess supply of gorgeous Victorians. And wouldn't you know it, many of them still stand today, as freshly painted and well-maintained as the days they were first built. In fact, Ernest Hemingway was born in this particular Queen Anne Victorian on Oak Park Avenue. And you are more than welcome to visit his birthplace home, as it has been turned into a museum. So whether you're there for Frank Lloyd Wright, for the arts and crafts homes, or for the Victorians, the village of Oak Park will not disappoint. Number 6. Elmira, New York. Preppy fashion designer Tommy Hilfiger hails from this small city in the southern tier of upstate New York. And Elmira is also where great American poet Mark Twain spent a good majority of his summers. In fact, he wrote many of his famous novels here. But even more exciting, Elmira is also known for its abundant stash of Grand Victorians. Here are a few for you to feast your eyes on. Number 7. The Victorian District in Savannah, Georgia. Savannah is full of historic districts. 13 to be exact. But the one we're highlighting today is its Victorian district, surrounding the lower half of Forsyth Park. There you'll find streets upon streets of some of the most detailed architecture under canopies of oak trees and Spanish moss. Some of the homes have been made into cozy bed and breakfasts, of which you can easily book a night's stay. Though this district is where you'll find the largest cluster of Victorian homes, there are several more gems located in some of Savannah's other historic districts, particularly this famous gingerbread house which is located south of the Victorian district on Bull Street. There's quite a lot to see in Savannah's historic districts, so be sure to wear your best walking shoes. Number 8. The Garden District in New Orleans, Louisiana. This 19-block stretch running from St. Charles Avenue to Magazine Street, between Louisiana and Jackson Avenues, has some of the most exquisite and most unique homes you will ever lay your eyes on. A lot of it is Southern plantation style, mixed in with Victorian style. There's much to see in this neighborhood, brimming with quiet tree-lined streets, stately mansions accented by ornamental cast iron, and Victorian homes surrounded by manicured gardens. Even better, it's quite a walkable neighborhood, so you can take it all in at your very own leisure. Number 9. Astoria, Oregon. This small town, named after old money tycoon John Jacob Astor, is the oldest American settlement west of the Rockies. All is old and historic in Astoria. Residents here value its old world feel, and they intend to keep it that way. You may recognize the town from several 80s movies, as it was the backdrop to The Goonies, Short Circuit, and quite a few more. Best of all, you'll find plenty of Victorian homes to drool over. These here are just a few examples. Number 10. The Gingerbread Cottage Village in Oak Bluffs, Massachusetts. In this small Martha's Vineyard town is an exceptionally well-preserved collection of over 300 dreamy Victorian cottages laced with fanciful gingerbread details in a wide range of shapes and colors. These structures, which look like they came right out of a fairy tale, were built as Methodist camp meeting houses back in the 1870s. However, today, they are each privately owned and worth at least $500,000. Being a resort town, many of the homes are boarded up during the winter. So we think it's best to visit Oak Bluffs in the summer, a time when you can easily tour the campgrounds by foot, and see the homes in their fullest glory. Number 11. Plainfield, New Jersey. This will have to encompass not only the city of Plainfield, but also the boroughs of North Plainfield and South Plainfield, as they all contain a generous supply of Victorians for you to marvel at. Not a very walkable destination, as some parts of Plainfield are woodsy, some parts are sketchy, while other parts are absolutely gorgeous. So definitely, remain in your car for this one. For those of you familiar with New Jersey, did you know that Plainfield's Victorian inventory surpasses Cape May? And for such a small city, it has an amazing total of 10 historic districts. Number 12. Elgin, Illinois. Next to Oak Park, this city within the suburbs of Chicago has some of the finest Victorians in the state of Illinois. Once known as the watch capital of the United States, Elgin was once a very prosperous city. And some of the most remarkable homes were once owned by National Watch Company executives. This is another tiny city brimming with historic districts, and they offer several walking house tours every year. Number 13. Lafayette Square in St. Louis, Missouri. As one of the oldest neighborhoods in St. Louis, it was also one of the most fashionable in Victorian times. It consists of the area surrounding the beautiful Lafayette Park, bounded by Chouteau Avenue on the north, Interstate 44 on the south, Truman Parkway on the east, and South Jefferson Avenue on the west. After a brief period of decline, today Lafayette Square is completely revitalized, and it boasts a wonderful collection of Second Empire Victorian townhouses with mansard roofs, among several other freestanding Victorians, all in masonry. The area is quite walkable, with many unique shops and restaurants to welcome you throughout. So feel free to spend the entire day getting to know the neighborhood. Number 14. Sacramento, California. What's unique about some of the Victorians in California's capital is that they can be extremely ornate. Such as Heilbronn House, the Leyland Stanford Mansion, the Governor's Mansion, or even the Sacramento Hostel. However, there's still a graceful beauty and elegance to these buildings. Second, the Victorians here are mostly spread out, and not necessarily clustered in one location. But we didn't feel this was a good enough reason to exclude this city filled to the brim with some very eye-popping homes from our list. If you're willing to take that short ride through town, surely, it won't be that difficult to spot them. And last we have number 15. Old West End District in Toledo, Ohio. With 25 city blocks making up one of the largest collections of late Victorian houses in the US, this Toledo neighborhood is one of America's best-kept secrets. Here you have some of the most diverse examples of Victorian architecture. From Queen Anne to Italianate, to Second Empire, amongst other architectural styles. You are also welcome to attend the annual Old West End Golden Jubilee, a street festival attracting thousands of visitors every spring with its parade, fun activities, and multitude of vendors. During the festival, you can purchase tickets to tour many of the homes throughout the neighborhood. You can also attend the neighborhood's summer garden tour, as well as the holiday tour in December, showcasing the homes in full Christmas decoration. And that's it for part 2 of the most Victorian neighborhoods in the United States. So, which of these neighborhoods did you like the most? Which locations are you looking forward to visiting? If you think we missed a few locations, by all means do let us know, and perhaps just maybe, we can create a part 3. Anyway, if there's anything else you would like to mention about this topic, feel free to share it with us in the comments below. Furthermore, if you got any value out of this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and click on the bell icon so you can be notified when we release our next video. With that said, we'd like to thank you for watching, and we'll see each other next time.